You explain what it means to operationalize compliance and why organizations can't rely on policies alone.
Operationalizing compliance, it means making compliance, making those requirements, making it a natural part of how people are working every day, not just something they learn about during an annual training or sign off on when they take a job. Yes, policy set the expectation, but unless you build compliance and the controls into workflows, into existing tools and systems, and even into conversations with your manager, without doing that, it's unlikely to become a lasting practice. It will be something that is bolted on as opposed to being built in.
How does training play a role in helping people internalize compliant behaviors in their daily roles?
Create a program that's going to be effective and that's going to make a difference, and it's going to help people to understand what's expected of them, making it fun, making it short, making it memorable. I think tailoring the specific content to the audience is a really important one. Making it role specific makes it something that they can really apply in their own world, that they can see in the context of their everyday. And that is how you get people to internalize compliant behavior.
How have you approached turning compliance policies into everyday practices? What's worked well, and where have you seen challenges?
When I think about specific challenges to operationalizing, they're going to vary based upon your organization, your structure, the pressures on that company, the personality types, the folks that you're working with. It's just as important to think about how you're going to implement whatever your program, your rule, your standard, as to think about what you're going to implement. Okay. The how. Because the challenge is to take the time to understand existing processes, workflows, and develop controls that, at a minimum, live within those existing systems and structures. At a minimum, you want people to go to the place they already go, to do the thing they already do. Ideally, you want to improve upon those things. And so in order to do that, you got to think about the how from the beginning.
How do you build that leadership buy-in for training and a communication strategy that's aimed at operationalizing compliance?
Well, the way that you do that is you help your leadership, whatever level that you're talking to, especially if you're a compliance team or an L&D professional, you help them to see compliance as a business enabler. So not just some function that fulfills regulatory requirements, but one that drives real behavior change within the organization or promotes certain behaviors if you're not looking to change something. And for me, that is done by showing them a really strategic training and communication plan.
The key to having buy-in with your training program, with your compliance program, is putting it into the context of the company's day-to-day. And that means that your program, you've got to have a plan associated with it.
How do we ensure training that we deliver is both effective and sustainable?
In order for the program to be effective and sustainable, it has to be fun. We want employees to engage in it in ways that they enjoy and that are within their reach. Tailoring the training to your audience, customizing the content to meet the different needs of each audience segment. And by doing scenario-based learning, which I'm a huge proponent of, you can make that happen.
What are some of the key ways to monitor whether compliance is truly being operationalized?
You need both quantitative and qualitative metrics. Completion rates are important for a training, for an acknowledgement. You also need to measure outcomes. Do incident reports increase after you do a training? Does it reflect awareness? Are people asking questions maybe they didn't ask before? Are concerns spiking? Are they decreasing after you take action once things are raised? If you do culture surveys, how do those results change over time? How, like from the qualitative standpoint, how are people talking about or commenting on or rating or encouraging others to take the training that you've done? I think the goal is continuous improvement.
What's been your biggest success, I guess, in turning a policy into an operational practice?
You know, anytime that we're able to put something forward that really gets engagement from the employee base, especially the frontline employees and those middle managers who are so important to getting these messages out and down and spread throughout. Anytime we are able to do something like that, it's success.
The biggest successes for me have been where I hear from an audience, from a country, from a learning group. I did not know this existed. I did not know this was an issue until I saw that video, until I heard from you guys from the first time ever, until you finally translated it into the language of the country where this company operates. Those are big wins, but they are just the start of the conversation.
Thank you to everyone for contributing.